not to complain or anything?
Oh yes, there's no complaining or whining in class, no packing before we leave, or you will not get a piece of candy. So that has been announced. And it's an all or nothing.
Man,
What kind of candy?
Berkeley's all not
yes, candy.
Oh,
Okay, so it's an all or nothing. If anybody complains, if anybody packs up, then nobody gets it. Okay? All right, that's all I'm talking about that. We're talking about the most dangerous game. Okay, so turn to page 15 in your student book for me. And we're also talking about your annotation, your grading, how I'm going to grade this. 15, I'm sorry, I might have misspoke. Okay, notes appear on every page of the story. Okay? Definitions of unfamiliar words are written in the margin. Their reactions to what's happening. Even like a wow or a oh my word, I can't believe that, right? Or I agree or I disagree, whatever it is, whatever your mind says as you're reading it, whatever you think as you're reading it, you need to write that down. Questions asked and answered or attempted to answer. I wonder what's going to happen here. I think such and such is going to happen. Do you get it? Yeah. And then notes, possibly on style. Do you see lots of similes or metaphors? Do you see that alliteration? Hey, quiet guys. What about the setting? How does the setting make you feel? What do you see about the setting that gives you a certain feel? What about the characters? What do you think about the description of the characters? Does that make sense? Comments on those and comments on possible theme. Okay? As we go through some of this today, you guys are going to share with me what you saw. Okay? And I'm going to share with you. I'm sorry?
Are we going to story chart?
I'm not sure if we're going to have time to story chart it today. Okay? But we will be working. I don't know if you guys like this story, but we're going to be working with this story quite a bit through subsequent weeks. We're going to be revisiting this story in different ways. That you caught yourself and you didn't complain. Yay, Bryce! Your classmates are thrilled that you caught yourself.
No, we're pretty worried now because he almost did it immediately.
But he caught himself first week, first one out of the chute. He caught himself. Okay. All right. So page 15, the most dangerous game. I want someone to share with me. What?
I didn't like it.
You don't like it. I will not call it a complaint. That's okay.
It wasn't O. Henry.
It wasn't O. Henry. It wasn't. We had quite a bit of O. Henry. It was creepy.
And like Ransford was like not that smart at all.
You didn't think so?
I was like, why would you lean over the rail and then and then he started calling the boat name after it was like already leaving and then he wouldn't run away.
What would you do?
I would run away from that creepy guy. If someone's pointing a gun at me, I'm not gonna like go to that house.
Dogs, boy.
Oh wait, you're not even gonna.
Do you think you'd say so? If you showed up at the door and the guy had the gun pointed, you think you'd say, "Oh, never mind. I must have the wrong house. I'm going to turn around and leave now."
All I kept thinking about was the part when it said he took off his clothes in the water. I was like, is he still clothes? Is he still not wearing clothes?
When he showed up the door, is he butt naked? Yeah, that'd be a little
like they got him a new outfit. I was like, yeah, he wasn't wearing clothes.
Was there like a castle? I never even understood.
Yeah, it was like a chateau, like a mansion.
I thought it was like a huge lighthouse. That's what I imagined it as.
Yeah, not like a chateau. Can you guys picture what a chateau is? Lots of different towers. He thought it was a village. There was so much light. It's a massive, massive house.
Chateau Myers, and that's what I was saying.
Is it? Yeah. It would be neat to go visit, wouldn't it? Okay. So listen, what else? You can talk to me about other things, but I would like us to highlight some of, meaning speak specifically, what did you write in your margins? What did you write in your annotation? Share with me some of this. You guys are going to get really good at this. By the end of the year, it's going to be old hat. It's going to be totally natural. But we are going to do this all year long. So
I did a lot better when someone else read it than when I read it.
Okay. When someone was reading it to you, I have no problem whatsoever.
Yes, I liked it when you read it to us on Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind reading to you on Wednesdays. Right? I do not mind if you want to do this with your mom or your dad and someone read to you. I think read alouds are awesome, guys. I love the interaction. You're just sitting and listening. You can, let's try not to do too much of that because I think it's going to mess up the video. You can find something recorded and listen to it while you read along with it if you want to. I don't mind. Trying to think what else. Yeah, whatever way you want to do that is fine with me. There's You don't have to read it just yourself. I don't even mind, like I said, if a parent reads it to you. Okay? You were going to say something,
Yeah,
yes.
I like reading a story, but someone else annotating it.
Oh, well, that, however, is not an option. The annotation, the thoughts, the process has to be yours.
I thought it was kind of annoying to stop mid-sentence and go write down your thoughts.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, I understand the first 3 pages so much better than I would have if I would have just read it.
It's very true, Emily. And I really do get that. The other option would be to read it flat out, just straight through, and then go back and read it again and annotate, which when we do a book, right, because we're doing, I didn't bring it with me, we're doing Kidnapped next. We're reading a book.
Yay.
That could take a while, but if you're a really fast reader, oh my word, I think I just heard a complaint.
Oh, yeah. I was almost there.
It sounded like sarcasm, heavy sarcasm.
No.
But we're gonna.
I don't even know what sarcasm is.
Oh!
We didn't learn that.
All right, we'll have a lesson on that a different day. Okay, I don't know where I was. Yes, you may read it straight through if you want to, but you must go back and read it through a second time and annotate as you're reading.
That's what
Isn't
I
it
did.
So
like
if you
I read
prefer
it.
not to read it twice, then read it one time through and take the time
I
to
read it
annotate.
Tuesday and then I annotated when you were reading on Wednesday.
Okay.
That's what I did.
It's really,
Okay.
it
guys
makes
read
me
it
super
on
frustrating
Wednesday?
because I can get through a book like so fast
Yeah.
because
It's not that
I've read
fast.
all
You
of my
came in
life.
late.
Yeah.
But with
Last
this,
5
it
minutes.
like
Yeah.
takes way longer than it would have.
It does, but you're gonna get a lot more out of
Really,
it.
really.
You're gonna get a lot more out of it if you do
I
this.
had to
I know, but
annotate
I'm
for
sad
the
that,
giver
like,
last year.
I
That took
I
forever.
anticipate the next part, and I want to get to the next part. So this is gonna be like, if it's a good book, then
Yeah.
that we're gonna read, it's gonna be like, I want to know what's happening next instead of having to write down.
Totally
I had to
get it. I
annotate-
really do.
I had to
I really
annotate
do.
the giver last year.
Yeah?
That took
That's a
forever.
pretty good book,
Yeah.
bro. For, like,
The movie was better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're reading. I think one of the other literature classes is reading The Giver this week or this year too. So,
Such a good,
okay, so it has to be done.
movie.
It's just part of the class, guys. It just has to be done. So suck it up.
Oh,
Either
just
read
like
it through
most-
and then go back and read it the second time through and annotate it, or annotate it from the get-go. Okay, that's just all we're gonna do. Okay, so somebody tell me a note that you made on page 1, page
I
15.
said I predicted that. Oh, my bad,
Raise
my bad,
hands.
my bad.
That's okay. You're good, Brace. Gavin,
so
start with us.
I said like when I talked about when they first were hunters,
Mm-hmm.
I said maybe it's play on words as in the most dangerous game, as in like hunting game, you know. Like,
Oh.
I noticed
Oh, yeah. That was good insight. I like that. So, if you guys didn't hear, Gavin said when they started talking about hunters, he thought about the title, The Most Dangerous Game, and he thought that maybe it was a play on words. Not a game as in a game you play, but game as in the thing that's being hunted. What's the most dangerous game that could be hunted? So, yeah, I like that. Yes, Bryce.
I predicted that he was going to swim to the island.
You predicted
Yes.
he was going to swim to the island.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was pretty easy.
Yes, Emily.
As soon as
What do you
the
think?
island's there.
Hey guys, everyone else be quiet while one person speaks so the people listening to this can hear clearly. Hopefully.
I thought he was gonna drown.
You thought he was
just
going to
want people-
drown.
you
You
just
thought
like
it was
you
going to be
want people to
done
die,
like that.
don't
The
you?
story was going to end on the first page. Okay,
Where's Josh
Michael.
go?
So I don't have my hand
Carry
raised,
on
but
with
Okay,
I,
shh. Okay, Michael.
I remember like saying that don't get too cocky and like think that this island isn't nothing. Yes, he was like, oh, this island isn't nothing and stuff like that.
Oh,
Ransford was.
Ransford thought,
but-
oh, it's just a bunch of superstition. It's silly, and
Yeah, but Whitney was like, don't go to that island.
don't go do that.
As soon as you
Yeah.
go, and I'm like, he's
I was
dirty.
warning him the whole time to
Yeah.
run away, but.
When it says Moonless Caribbean Night at the end of like the 5th paragraph,
Football games.
I thought Moonless Caribbean Night. Okay, something bad's gonna happen. I just knew it. Go ahead, Emily.
I was wondering how she could sleep after she just told him that really creepy story. I was like, what the heck?
Wait, who?
Who could
What?
sleep?
She?
Whitney.
Oh, I think Whitney's a last name.
Oh.
Whitney is a man, most likely, and so it's probably his last name.
What?
You pictured a Whitney, a girl,
It
female.
said
Of course
he.
you would. You're female.
It said he.
Is
You're
it he
assuming
somewhere?
his gender?
Oh, Michael, do not go there. We're not having that conversation. We're not having a conversation.
It was yacht.
Okay.
Not really sailors. I was thinking.
So, guys,
Yeah, it's a yacht.
what about when they're talking? What about when Whitney? Listen. What about when Whitney is saying, "Yeah, it's the best sport in the world"? Ransford says, and Whitney says, "For the hunter, not for the jaguar," and And Ransford says, "Don't talk rot, Whitney. You're a big game hunter, not a philosopher. Who cares how a jaguar feels?" Did you guys get any hint at that point that, you know what, I think by the end of the story, someone's going to care, right? Someone's going to care how the hunted feels. Did you guys get any hint of that at that point in time? Oh, you guys are funny. The aha moments. It's good. I love conversation. We should just do this. We just sit around and talk about what we read all year long.
We can do that. And then you won't have to like
do other homework.
I know, guys. I know. We can't. But this is part of it. This is part of it. So let's enjoy it. I totally get it. Okay. What else do you have on page 1?
I'm reading the story. It says ugh. It's like moist black velvet.
Moist black velvet. The night is like moist black. Yes, Emily.
What the heck is a swamp? He had swamp. I was like, grammar check, please.
That's why there's a couple places where I'm like,
because
that
he
right.
swam. Maybe. This was written in 1923. 1923. So maybe that's what they used.
English swam yesterday. Too.
English continues to
Right
change.
after I read this, someone said swam, and I was like, wait,
yes, Michael.
So I was really confused because like they were like the only two on the boat, and then this random this captain comes out, and then sailors come out. I'm like, so they're not the only ones on the boat.
They are not the only ones on the boat.
It's like really confusing.
Yeah. I can understand that, but yes, they are not the only ones on the boat.
They all died.
Okay. All right. You know, I really liked see I make notes like yuck. Blood warm. Like when he says the cry was pinched off short as the blood warm waters of the Caribbean Sea closed over his head. It didn't say the warm waters. This is the blood warm waters of the Caribbean Sea.
He's a hunter.
He's a hunter. He's probably
hunter.
touched plenty of blood. Yeah.
You have blood on you. It's like
It's warm. Your body temperature is 98.6 degrees internally, right?
I was telling my sister that. She was like, no, it's actually 98.3. I was like, no.
Well, I guess it depends on different people, but yes, it's warm, okay? All right, so also, I liked, and I don't really want to do all of this talking, I want you guys to talk too, but I like how at the end of page 15, it says a certain cool-headedness had come to him. It was not the first time he had been in a tight place. I'm kind of impressed. Here he is, he's fallen off the yacht, right? He knows he's not going to get back on it. He's in the middle of the, well, not in the middle of the ocean, obviously, right? But
on him, and he is cool-headed.
and he's cool-headed. I'm kind of impressed. This guy's got some experience with survival and difficulty.
Maybe he just gets into accidents all the time.
I don't know. It says he's hunted all over the world. He's written books about hunting, and the man's experienced. And he was also in the war. It talks later about he's in the war. So I don't know all of his experiences, but you can tell he's got some experience. I'm not sure, but he obviously knows how to handle himself in the water and how to pace himself and all of that.
Maybe that's why he didn't care about falling over.
I don't know. I'm sure he probably did not want to fall off the boat. It was
My first thought was civilization with hunting. Like he's thinking hunting because his mind is already in the form of hunting.
You know what?
So he's thinking,
It
it's
doesn't
civilization who has food. Because
Yeah, his mind's also in survival mode, which means run from the gunshots.
Run from the gunshots. So we're going to swim the opposite direction out into open sea.
You're
You know,
Don't
I
do
think
that.
gunshots and he's slowness, and if there's civilization or not, there's just a chance.
Oh.
Emily's stuck on the fact that he has no clothes on.
He has to die.
Maybe he left his underclothing on. Okay, turn the page. Turn the page. Page 16. I want everybody to tell me one thing that they wrote in the margins on 16. Yes, Bryce, go.
I said, will the hunter end up being a jerk?
Will the hunter end up being a jerk?
Because like somewhere, what did it say? Oh, okay. So it said he examined the ground closely and found what he hoped to find, the print of hunting boots. So I was like, if he meets someone, will he be like a jerk to that person?
Oh, gotcha.
Like,
Gotcha.
we haven't
He's
really-
looking for the hunter, but you're concerned about how he's going to
Yeah.
treat Ransford once Ransford meets him?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Got it. Yes, Michael.
I remember when I said the part, I just lost it. Where it says his enemy, he was safe from his enemy, the sea. I'm like, Is that your real enemy?
Yeah, and I underlined that part too. I underlined that. So what I want you to do, Michael, because I'm noticing you have a bunch of highlights. You have no written words. What I want you to do is, if you highlight that, then in the margin, right? I wonder if the C is going to be his real enemy.
Oh yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, this is just my vocab words.
But the C turned into
No, but you have no, but